Hello, my name is Denzel and welcome to Art in Motion. Today we're going to take a look at how to create this effect. This flickering lightbox effect is incredibly easy to make, completely procedural and done in cycles. So let's begin. As always, we are greeted with the default setup in Blender, and instead of deleting the default cube as we always do, we're actually just going to use it because it's there. Press Tab, hold down Control, move it up by one block, it snaps. We then select the front face and the top face, press Delete, delete faces. Press A to select everything, press S to scale, press X to snap, to scale to the X-axis, and press Enter. Now we press Tab to go back to object mode, increase the size of our background, because this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a nice infinity background. And then we head over to the modifier tab in the properties panel, press add modifier, go over to bevel. We can increase the bevel width, increase the segments, and if it's not smooth enough, just head over to the tools panel. If it's not there, press T and select smooth. Now the next step is to create the text. All we do is press Shift A, add text. Press R to rotate, press X to rotate it on the X-axis, and then type in 90 to stand it up at a 90-degree angle. Then we head over to the font panel on our properties panel. Scroll down to paragraph, select center and bottom. So the pivot point will always be at the bottom center of the text. We can then press Tab to tab into edit mode, and we can type whatever we want. Art in motion. Press Tab to exit edit mode, and now we've got this beautiful text which we can just scroll up over here and we can extrude it. But that's not good enough. I don't like it. So I'm going to change the font. Go to font, select the little folder over here. We then navigate to the font folder. I've got it saved here as a shortcut. But what we can do is go to C drive, go to Windows, go to font, and there we have it. And if you want to see what the fonts look like as a preview, go to the top here and select this little icon, and it changes it to images. And then you just look for the font you want. I'm going to use this one. And there we have it. Much better. But we're not finished there. In order to select just the front faces of the font, what you want to do is press Alt-C with the font selected and say Mesh from Text. And there we have it. When you press Tab, it's now geometry. And to make this a little bit cleaner, because it does have some artifacts, press A in edit mode to select everything. Go to your tools panel on the side here and say remove doubles. Now it's a little bit cleaner. You'll see it's removed a whole bunch of vertices. And while we're in this edit mode, let's press 5 to go to orthographic, and then press 7 to go to the top view. Then we can press B to go to marquee select and select just the front faces. Oh, but we got a problem. We didn't select all of the vertices. Let's press 7 again and select this button here. It allows you to select things that are behind other things. We then press B for marquee select and select all of those vertices. Now, with all of that selected, we can then add a shader. We go to the shader tab and we say new. And now we'll see everything will change according to whatever color we choose. But we want to change the front faces to a different color. And to do that, we just press this little plus sign to add another shader, say new, and there we have it. But you'll notice it doesn't work. So what you've got to press is, with those faces selected, press a sign. And now it's a different color. Very simple. But now, this is where the magic comes in. Press A to deselect everything. Press A again to select everything. Then press P. And you'll see you can separate it by different types. Selection, material. But we're going to press loose parts. So now, when we go back to object mode, you'll see each one is a separate piece. Okay, now that we've got everything separated into separate pieces, the fun part can begin. What we've got to do is split this window, change the top one to the node editor, select one of these, just make sure that you're selecting the front face shader on the side here. We press Shift A, Input, Object Info. We connect random to the color. Now you'll see we've got random colors on the front face, but we can do it a little bit better. So we've got some control, but right now we have no control whatsoever. Shift A, color, hue and saturation. We connect random to the hue and color to the color. Now, you'll notice that nothing changes, but that's because we don't have any color information. We've got white. So what we've got to do is we've got to give it some color. So we will go with red. In fact, we'll make it pure red. Just get rid of the blue and the green. So now we've got random colors, which is great, but it doesn't really give us any control. So we need to add even more. Shift A, convert math. We add the math node there. Now, when we increase or decrease this value, it'll randomize everything. It works a lot like a seed input whenever you're dealing with noise or anything that generates things randomly. Set this back to 0. Perfect. But we don't want the color information. We want the black and white information. So all we do, Shift A, convert RGB to black and white. And we connect it right here. We can use that information and plug it into a mix shader, into the factor, unplug that. So this we can make, say, purple, green, or whatever color. We can then add a emission shader, and there we have it. We can make the emission shader whatever color we want. We can make it red. So now when we play with this value, we'll randomize. We'll make both of them white, just to make things a little bit easier to deal with, because I'm not going to go too complicated. Also, we're having trouble seeing this effect, so what we've got to do is we've got to go to the world settings over here and make the background color black, but it's still too bright. So what we want to do is select the lamp, and guys, remember to save as often as possible because there's always a chance it could crash. So let's just save quick. So let's select this lamp, go to the lamp settings, use nodes, maybe we'll make it a 6. Now we'll go with a 10, a little bit brighter. So now when we select one of these shapes, we can randomize things a little bit. And that's pretty much how it's done. And if you want to animate it, it's quite easy. You just hover your mouse over the value, press I, go forward in the timeline, change the value, and press I. Now it's animated. quick and easy. But what I would like to offer to you to make your lives a little bit easier and for a small donation is my pre-made version of this that offers a lot more flexibility and is a lot easier to use and faster to set up. You just plug it in, and now it all looks black. So what we've got to do is increase the strength of the light. We've got to change the saturation so it can be whatever color you want. I want it to be green. Or nah, blue. I think blue's better. And then we can change the flicker amount by increasing it over here. And if you want to animate it, you can animate this little setting over here. Or if you want random colors, more variation, you can then increase random color amount, which will give us a little bit more random colors. And you can make it completely random, and if you're not happy with the way it's done, you can also animate the seed for that. And you can animate them both simultaneously or play with them however you like. If that's still not good enough, as far as how dark and how light the blocks are, you can change the contrast amount. If you support me on Patreon, you gain exclusive access to this flickering lightbox node. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. If you want more clear, concise tutorials, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You will have access to exclusive assets I have made for my own personal projects. And check us out on Facebook and on Twitter.